Hello and welcome to another episode of News You Can Use. This unique show comes to you week after week on every Thursday, 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, exclusively on 106.2 Big FM. I'm your host Anurag Malhotra. इस शो के जरिए हमारा केवल एक ही पर्पस है कि किस तरह हम आपको ऐसी जानकारी दे सकें जिससे आपका व्यस्त जीवन थोड़ा आसान हो जाए. Yes, the show has been created keeping in mind your busy lives here in the UAE and most importantly, to fill you in with important news and relevant information you may have missed, which is actionable and could help you save time, effort and money. We cover important policies and announcements, the evolving rules and regulations on matters concerning immigration, visas, employment, insurance, travel, transportation, banking, education, real estate, investments, law and order, social and cultural issues, as well as matters of interest specifically to our Indian and our other South Asian listeners. While our endeavor is to provide you accurate information, carefully collated from local established newspapers and authentic digital platforms and also official news sources, however, we recommend that you check out the respective sources' websites for more comprehensive and detailed information. UAE में 200 से अधिक देशों के लोग रहते हैं और काम करते हैं, all coexisting peacefully and harmoniously. And this modern and friendly country keeps working non-stop, striving for more and more to improve the lives of its residents. Another important objective of this program is to show our respect and gratitude to the leadership of UAE, which we can do by simply respecting the law of the land and thereby becoming more responsible residents of this country.
Your life made easy.
Welcome to our first segment, Your Life Made Easy. शुरुआत करते हैं आज कुछ important announcements के साथ. The holy month of Ramadan is almost here and is likely to begin on May 17. And the UAE's Federal Authority of Government Human Resources, FAHR, has announced working hours for Ramadan for federal employees. The working hours during Ramadan will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for all human resources in the federal government. It would be useful to keep these timings in mind, especially for those of you who may have worked to transact with the federal government departments during Ramadan. Moving on to an important piece of news और इसका ताल्लुक employment से है. I'm sure a lot of you wonder if it is possible to work part-time in the UAE. And the simple answer is yes. Surprised? Well, as long as you're 18 years of age and irrespective of whether you are employed or unemployed, you can work part-time in the UAE subject to the basic conditions. If you're already employed, ask your full-time employer, who should be registered with the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratisation, MOHRE, to give you a no objection certificate. If you are unemployed, ask your spouse or your father to do the same. And finally, ask for a final NOC from your prospective employer, which shows that they are aware of your residency situation. As simple as that, and you could get work part-time. For more detailed information, you can check out the MOHRE website.
Your life made easy.
और यहाँ लेते हैं एक छोटा सा break. And when I'm back, there's a lot more coming up on this segment, Your Life Made Easy.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.
आपका स्वागत है और मैं हूँ अनुराग मल्होत्रा. And now for some more important information.
Your life made easy.
The Dubai Land Department said it will be using artificial intelligence to verify Ejari contracts. The new technology is part of DLD's latest governance system for verifying these lease contracts, and the AI will be used to correctly match contract signatures with those in the department's database. The new system will detect the presence of fake companies, especially those with no documented headquarters on their commercial licenses. These actions are a part of integrated initiatives that aim to enhance transparency across all operations, including those related to other economic sectors. A word of caution for those wishing to invest in real estate after seeing alluring ads. The UAE Police and Telecoms Authority warn residents not to fall victim to fake real estate advertisements circulating on social media. Before applying to that ad from your mobile phone about investing in real estate projects in the country as well as abroad, first ensure that it is genuine. The Ministry of Interior emphasized that before responding to advertisements, residents should take two simple steps. Confirm the name of the company and its associated projects. And secondly, confirm the real estate's trade license. The ministry pointed out that such types of advertisements are run by scamsters who use fake websites and fake social media accounts to con residents. And now moving on to some news related to travel. A great announcement was made by the tourism body at the region's largest travel and tourism show, the Arabian Travel Mart, to launch the Dubai Pass. Dubai Pass is a new, all-inclusive prepaid card that grants access to 33 key events and venues across this desert megacity. It's a hassle-free way for tourists to explore the city's many destinations. Available for redemption starting May 16th this year, Dubai Pass will grant cash-free access to attractions such as the Burj Khalifa, Dubai Parks and Resorts, IMG Worlds of Adventure, Wild Wadi Water Park, Ski Dubai, Desert Safari Tours, among others. The packages start from 389 dirhams, which allow access to 33 attractions starting May 16th. This is good news for you to share with your friends and relatives who may be planning to visit Dubai in the near future. Come summers and with holiday period approaching, Emirates is allowing passengers to check in baggage from their homes. The service is available for 350 dirhams per trip for up to 7 pieces of luggage. So what happens is the passengers can book the service on the Emirates website up to 12 hours before departure of their flight. The new home check-in service allows customers to check in for their flights from anywhere in Dubai. The service is available for customers across all classes of travel on the Emirates flights. An Emirates check-in agent will arrive at the preferred location to weigh and tag the bags, as well as check in the customers and issue boarding passes. The new service enables Emirates passengers to complete the security check and check in from the comfort of their home, hotel or office and have their luggage transported to the airport prior to their flight. Customers can then make their own way to the airport and head directly to immigration, bypassing the check-in desks at the airport. Now some great news on use of artificial intelligence technology in the health sector. As a part of the Dubai Future Accelerator initiative by Dubai Health Authority, now AI pods will help residents get full body scan for free in Dubai. These free-to-use artificial intelligence pods that will do quick health scans for the public and give immediate results will be set up across Dubai in a few months. Once the user has stepped into the pod and entered a program, he/she will be scanned for body composition, including blood pressure, body fat, hydration, weight and much more. Additionally, users can download an app. हम सब सोशल मीडिया पर बहुत अधिक एक्टिव हैं. Social media has become an integral part of our lives. However, सावधान हो जाएं, because as per the UAE Telecommunications Regulatory Authority (TRA), you can be fined up to 1 million dirhams if you read something online or receive some information which you think is false. Please don't post it on Facebook or pass it on to your friends on WhatsApp. Remember that not everything you read on social media is true. Some are just rumors and that can cause harm to others or to the state. The TRA asks you to always verify the source and to use the official accounts of the government to verify the news. So please don't spread unverified news. Let it stop with you.
Your life made easy.
Well, that's all we have as far as this segment is concerned. When I come back, I'll be with a guest.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.
Welcome to our second segment, Views You May Use. Today in the studio with me is a special guest. He also happens to be my namesake, CA Anurag CHATURVEDI. He's a versatile trainer, public speaker, media blogger with over 16 years of experience in international taxation, technology, automation across Southeast Asia, CIS and Middle East. And over the last year, Anurag has taught hundreds of taxpayers how VAT impacts their businesses.
Views you may use.
So welcome to the show, Anurag. Pleasure to have you.
It's my pleasure.
VAT is now on the top of the mind with everybody here in the UAE after having been implemented from the 1st of January 2018. So let me straight away dive into it. What is VAT? VAT का एक आम आदमी पे क्या impact है?
VAT stand for value added tax, and value added tax is a multi-stage taxation. So we're exactly like, if you see one person sells a particular goods, then he's supposed to charge a VAT, and a person who's consuming the goods will gonna pay the VAT. So this is a tax which is charged by the supplier, value that he added on the supplies, which can be service, can be goods, and ultimately it is to be paid by the consumer of the goods and services. The rate of VAT is charged at the rate of 5%.
आम आदमी की ओर से देखा जाए तो कुछ ऐसे एरियाज हैं जहां पे आम आदमी को एग्जेम्पशन भी मिल सकती है VAT पे करने में.
Now, what is exempt from VAT is 4 services. Number 1, residential property. So, supply of residential property. Supply of bare land is exempt from VAT. Certain financial services are exempt from VAT, such as interest. We can say that, And public transport is exempt from VAT. There are certain services which is zero rated as well. Education is zero rated. Healthcare is zero rated. Certain banking services zero rated. Export is zero rated.
Since you mentioned one is zero rated and one is exempt, so why this distinction? When it is zero rated or exempt, it means the same thing कि जो customer है वो pay नहीं करेगा.
Exemption and zero rate में काफ़ी difference है. अगर आप देखें तो zero rate means that service is or supply is still taxable. The rate of tax is zero. Exemption means that the supply is not subject to VAT, which means that if I incur any expense or I make any expense to perform that service, I will not get input VAT in relation to that. Whereas in case of zero rated, government kept it, that service or that supply deliberately zero rated because they don't want to increase the cost in that particular segment. So that's predominantly a key difference between the...
Right. From a technical point, you've explained it very well. But from the point of view of the consumer or the common man, for him, effectively, he is not going to pay VAT either if it's zero rated or it is exempt.
Yes.
आपने कहा कि जो residential property है, that is exempt from VAT. So, some of our listeners, they may be working, but a lot of people have invested here in the UAE. So, is it mandatory for them as people who own residential or commercial properties to register with VAT? And if so, how can they do it?
A person who is owning a residential properties and getting a rent from the residential properties are not required to register for the VAT because the rentals from residential properties is exempt from VAT. However, if a person owns a commercial property and their rental from a commercial property exceeds AED 375,000 dirhams, then they are mandatory to register with the VAT. Second point is that if their rental is less than 375,000 but more than 187,500, they can voluntarily apply to Federal Tax Authority to register for the VAT.
तो इससे उनको क्या फायदा मिलेगा?
The benefit of registration ये है कि अगर जब आप प्रॉपर्टी मेंटेन करते हो तो जब प्रॉपर्टी मेंटेन करते हो तो बहुत सारे सर्विस चार्जेस हम लोग पे करते हैं, सच एज मेंटेनेंस चार्जेस, इंश्योरेंस अगेंस्ट प्रॉपर्टीज, क्लीनिंग चार्जेस, other charges also, on which the VAT is levied. Now, if you're not registered with the VAT, that you become ultimate consumer and you have to bear the expense of that VAT itself. You cannot recover that. If you're registered with the VAT, you can pass on the impact to the tenant and tenant will take the impact.
Right, okay, that's an interesting point you make.
Views you may use.
Now it's time for a short break. We've been in conversation right now with Mr. Anurag CHATURVEDI, and when we come back on the other side, we will have more questions for him. Keep it locked to 106.2 Big FM.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.
आपका एक बार फिर स्वागत है और आप सुन रहे हैं व्यूज यू मे यूज, और मेरे साथ इस समय स्टूडियो में हैं हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट CA अनुराग चतुर्वेदी with a lot of experience on VAT.
Views you may use.
If the property is registered in a joint name, who should register it and how? And this I'm asking you on behalf of both residential as well as the commercial property.
In case of residential property, it's exempt. However, commercial property, we really need to see the transaction because let's take example of a joint property which is owned by two people, A and B. And the rent from this property is 500,000. The contract have been designed as such that 250,000 will be the rental paid to person A and 250,000 rental will pay to person B. And this property has the title deed name of 50-50 altogether. Now the revenue that these two people are making is less than AED 375,000. In this case, they are not required to register.
Okay, but suppose एक property है जिसमें husband और wife ने joint नाम में एक commercial property खरीदी है और they are joint signatories and a rent is coming which may be 375, 500 or less than that. Then how does it work?
If the property and the checks are getting in name of the husband need to register for the VAT.
And let's talk about individuals who are not employed. There are many people in UAE who are consultants, they are professionals and they are consultants who give their services. Do they need to register for VAT? And if so, what is the process?
Now, again, the criteria applies to individuals as well. So, if their annual turnover is exceeding 375,000, they require to register for the VAT. And the process of registration is very simple. Go on FTA portal, which is www.eservices.tax.gov.ae, and then they can start their registration process straight with it. It's a very simple process. You require to have your passport copies, your Emirates ID, and other required document which is in the criteria that you fall into, and you submit those documents, and the Federal Tax Authority gives you the tax registration number.
For our listeners who may not be familiar with the terminology FTA actually is the Federal Tax Authority. हमारे जो listeners हैं हर तबके के हैं. There are salaried employees. There are also people who are self-employed. Besides, of course, the consultants who run businesses, small businesses, big businesses, and a lot of them have businesses in Dubai, in Sharjah, in Ajman, and different parts of UAE. Who are traders? They do import-export business. They do a lot of kinds of business. तो उनके ऊपर VAT का क्या implication है?
What has happened in case of VAT? The small traders, what they do is basically they have small shops here in various areas of Dubai and Abu Dhabi and various Emirates. And there's a lot of tourists that comes from various countries and buy the various goods in a small quantities. And then these goods that they bought, they put it into a designated cargo and send it out of the country itself. So in a sense that in a substance, this is basically export of goods. However, they are not following the various legitimate means to export these goods, and these goods have been delivered to cargo or various modes. Now in this case, what has happened, they are still charging 5% VAT on that. So since it's not export, it's a local, somebody comes in and bought the goods, they charge 5% on that. So that in a way around increase the cost of the product for a tourist to come and buy. And that to an extent the government is working towards granting them refund. The Federal Tax Authority is going to launch the tourist refund scheme. There can be multiple options in relation to that. Is that one single agency that have been given the task to process a refund application. And there's another option that can be possible, like the retailers basically, they have the mechanism to provide the refund instantly. And the third option that available, which prevalent in various countries, is that airport refund at the airports and ports and other authorities. So UAE is working on right model which can really enhance the customer experience and tourist experience to boost the tourism here in the country.
और अनुराग, अगर कुछ ऐसी चीज़ है जो आप हमारे श्रोतागणों के साथ शेयर करना चाहेंगे, हमारे listeners के साथ, which we may have missed during the course of the conversation, again on VAT?
I think one of the important thing that I want to pass on to listeners is that अगर transaction किसी भी form में different होता है, कुछ भी transaction में change होता है, such as buyer, seller, the condition, the term of contract, or mode of doing the business itself, anything that change in a transaction, you should really evaluate the transaction, seek the opinion from the right people in order to give the right VAT treatment.
Thank you so much, Anurag. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
और I would like to tell my listeners, if you still have any other queries, आप please हमारे Facebook page, that is 106.2 Big FM Facebook page पे जाइए, उसे like कीजिए और just write NYCU and your question on VAT, and we will try to give you answers to that also.
Views you may use.
We'll take a short break here, and when I come back, it will be our third segment, the Expat Roundup.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.
Welcome to the Expat Roundup. I'm Anurag Malhotra, and you're listening to News You Can Use exclusively on 106.2 Big FM.
The Expat Roundup.
In this segment, we share with you news and information specifically relevant to the South Asian expats from many countries, including India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, etc. So let's start with some important news for the Indian expats. There is some great news for the expat kids from India. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs has announced a scholarship program for diaspora children, SPDC, for the academic year 2018-2019. The scheme is applicable to children of non-resident Indians and persons of Indian origin from 66 select countries, including the UAE. The scheme is applicable to children of persons of Indian origin, children of non-resident Indians, children studying abroad, or studying in India. All students who are in the age group of 17 to 21 years as on the 1st of October 2018 and who have also passed Senior Secondary 10+2 or equivalent examination with minimum of 60% marks or equivalent grades in aggregate of all the subjects are eligible for the scheme. After obtaining admission to eligible course, the candidates fulfilling the eligibility criteria can submit the online application form on the SPDC portal, spdcindia.gov.in. The last date for submitting the online application form is September 30th. There is some good news for the distressed Indians in Dubai and Northern Emirates. Soon, the Indian government, through the Indian consulate in Dubai, will assist them in fighting their legal cases through a panel of law firms for the same. The mission has invited proposals for empanelment of law firms for assisting it with court cases of distressed Indian nationals living in Dubai and Northern Emirates that fall under its jurisdiction. The move follows the expansion of the scope of Indian Community Welfare Fund to provide financial assistance to distressed Indians to fight their legal cases here in the most deserving cases. There are about 225,000 Nepalese who live in the UAE, and a lot of them, because of poor knowledge of the UAE laws, land themselves in trouble. In fact, 185 Nepalese are in UAE jails, mostly for committing crimes like alcohol consumption and drunk driving. To address this issue and make the workers aware of local cultures, rules and regulations, the Nepal Embassy started a month-long campaign among Nepalese expat workers. The first program was held on the Abu Dhabi National Hotel campus in Musaffa, where more than 5,000 Nepalese workers attended. The mission will keep organizing wider sessions next week for laborers at the Musaffa Labour Accommodation Cluster and then finally move to Dubai and the other Northern Emirates. And now for some news for the Pakistani expats living in UAE. The Pakistani community schools will soon have new buildings here in the UAE. The non-profit schools charge between 250 dirhams and 450 dirhams as school fees per month. Millions of dirhams will now be spent on upgrading and establishing new buildings for the Pakistani community schools in the Emirates of Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah and Sharjah so that the children do not have to miss out their studies.
The Expat Roundup.
After this short break, I'll be back with a last but special segment. Yes, the one which is between us, where I will give you an opportunity to win 500 dirhams gift voucher. So please keep it locked to 106.2 Big FM.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.
Welcome back. I'm Anurag Malhotra, and now it's time for this special segment, Between Us.
Between Us.
I had the pleasure of directly interacting with you last week on this segment, and I'd asked you, dear listeners, this question of the week. और वो सवाल था, डॉक्टर आनंद कुमार की लाइफ पर एक बॉलीवुड फिल्म बन रही है. फिल्म का नाम है सुपर 30 और उसमें एक बॉलीवुड एक्टर हैं. उनका नाम मैंने आपसे पूछा था. वेल, द करेक्ट आंसर वाज ऋतिक रोशन. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर पार्टिसिपेशन एंड एन ओवरवेलमिंग रिस्पॉन्स. बहुत सारे सही जवाब आए एंड वी हैड टू पिक द विनर बाय ड्रॉइंग लॉट्स. एंड द विनर इज मिस्टर गुरु प्रसाद with the mobile number ending 9177. बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो आपको मिस्टर गुरु प्रसाद, और आपने जीता है एक गिफ्ट वाउचर 500 दिरहम का courtesy ICAI partner Danube. And now it's time for the question of this week. And I hope आप सब ने आज का शो भी ध्यानपूर्वक सुना होगा. बहुत आसान सवाल है. What is the full form of VAT? And if you know the right answer, please SMS your answers on 1062 by typing the word NYCU space your full name space your answer. मुझे आपके आंसर्स का इंतजार रहेगा and the winner will get a gift voucher worth 500 dirhams courtesy ICAI partner Danube. I also look forward to your comments, suggestions and opinion about the show. Please go to 106.2 Big FM Facebook page, like it and then type NYCU in the message and send your comments and suggestions. आपकी और मेरी बातचीत का सिलसिला बना रहना चाहिए. So it would be great to hear from you and also it will help us to constantly evolve the show to make it more meaningful and useful for the listeners. In addition, you can also send us your feedback on the Big FM Twitter handle and our WhatsApp number 054 309 1062. I repeat 054 309 1062. Tune in to News You Can Use on every Thursday at 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Repeat on Saturday at the same time, exclusively on 106.2 Big FM. This is your host Anurag Malhotra, signing off with this positive quote of the day. May your day be filled with good thoughts, kind people, and happy moments. I'll see you same time, same day next week with more news and more views that you can use. Till then, don't worry. Be happy.
News you can use on 106.2 Big FM.